Squeaky Clean Sprint might be one of my new favorite Mario Kart tracks. So in order to celebrate, I've decided to reflect back onto the dog shit that is Sky High Sundae. I don't know if this is a common sentiment to have, but I think Sky High Sundae is the worst track in the entire Booster Course Pass, maybe the entire game. I was pondering my hatred for this course one day, and I remembered I can draw and have ideas, so I designed a new version of Sky High Sundae, a remix version if you will. Before that though, I want to go through and explain what I don't like about the original, as well as what I do like, which I'll talk about first. It's a very short list. The idea of racing on ice cream and other cold treats is one of the coolest things ever. The amount of desserts out there that would be great for track potential is insane. I mean, they only picked like ice cream and ice, but the idea is there. Also, the retro diner aesthetic that is thrown in for literally no reason is so dope. It's a huge shame that this is only in the starting area. The only part of the track I enjoy is the ice cream cones colliding with each other to make this giant ramp. It looks really sick and is a creative use of using melting ice cream to make a really cool looking road. The ice cream helicopter is really cool, and that's everything I like about it. Now here are the problems. I don't know if this is just a skill issue, but 80% of the time, I cannot trick off the glide ramp at the beginning. It has like a really weird hitbox that's either smaller or just in the wrong place. Seriously, I don't have this problem with any other glider in the entire game. For a while, I thought Nintendo just didn't make this one ramp trickable for some reason, but then I saw CPUs were doing it, so clearly that's not the case. The only reason I willingly select this course is to try and find out what is up with this stupid ramp. And even after most of my playthroughs of this course are dedicated to the timing of this ramp, I only get the trick like less than half the time. Please, fix this ramp. I don't like the fact that it can go through the guardrails. Why? It looks so weird driving through solid poles in the road. I guess it was to add the anti-gravity boosters to the track in some way, but it looks really tacky. It'd be more of a challenge and obstacle if they were actually solid, making you have the drift a lot more precise. It was painfully obvious that the only reason this track was anti-gravity was just Nintendo attempting to satisfy the complaints about the complete lack of anti-gravity in the first wave, which good on them for like listening to the fans, but it does not work here. It doesn't make sense for all of this track to be anti-gravity when most of the track is flat with normal elevations. The track feels a lot like you're playing Tour since the anti-gravity makes you fall slower, which is not a good thing. I enjoy playing Tour, but that enjoyment does not come from the physics and controls of that game. Also, the way the camera is programmed to work with anti-gravity definitely hurts this track. It makes the ramp parts feel really weird, specifically this one, since you can't see where you're landing or what's ahead of you. Even if the only normal gravity section was the starting line, just like a little small chunk, I would see this as an improvement so you'd feel there's actually a change happening. The anti-gravity panels add a lot to a track and let you know your physics are about to change. The only other tracks that are fully anti-gravity are the F-Zero tracks, but it actually makes sense there because it accompanies the futuristic vibe F-Zero has. It made those two tracks more unique since they were the only two fully anti-gravity courses. Like I said earlier, the diner portion is so cool. I can't get over how amazing of an aesthetic this one little room is. Like, it could be a whole track on its own. It's so upsetting to me that you only start here and then zip through it for maybe a second per lap. I think a lot more could have been done with this. The only other problem is how large the diner is. Like, the jukebox is the size of a semi-truck and the bystanders are the same size as the carts. I'm aware this is just a symptom of porting from Tour, but it's just something really off-putting to me. These things before the giant ice cream ramp. What are they? What is this entire section? I might just be stupid here, but I have no idea what these large cone sheets are. I couldn't tell what these weird ramps are either. I thought they were just a weird attempt at ice cream containers, but those can already be seen earlier in the track. And then looking back, I figured it was some kind of weird popsicle that just goes on for a really long time to where you can't see the stick. So maybe that's what it is? Every time I drive over these weird ramps, I always have to wonder what they are or what they have to do with ice cream. Probably my favorite part of the Mario Kart series is the music. 99% of tracks have amazing soundtracks, especially in 8 with the entire jazz band they have absolutely cooking. So why is this course's music so underwhelming? It's the most boring thing I've ever heard and does not make me think of ice cream. They could have gone with a more synth type song or something. Literally anything that invokes excitement into a giant ice cream themed racetrack. Sky High Sunday's music puts the rest of the cup to shame when compared to the other 3 masterpieces that you hear before it. Okay, now that I've complained about everything I hate, I'll show you what I did about it. I went into this design not wanting to make a completely new course, but mainly just to give the course a more interesting layout, as well as a few more creative elements to the concept. Because listen, if I wanted to play on an oval with abundant ramp, Excite Bike Arena is already a course in the game. But anyways, here's what I came up with. So here's a layout from a bird's eye view, as well as what the mini-map would look like. I'll start off walking you through the course, and then show some more detailed drawings. You would start in the giant fridge like normal, and drive out on a boost ramp. Then you take a U-turn past the ice cream shops, preceded by a waffle ramp, and then another U-turn. On this turn, there's no building in the way, just a guardrail to give you a view of the ice cream mountain you will be driving on later. Then the path would split into 2 roads. On the left is just a downward slope with a boost panel, and on the right are trickable stairs, keeping some of the original track's layout. There's also a yellow guardrail here. Oh, I think my nose is bleeding. There would also be a yellow guardrail here in the middle, with no anti-gravity boosts, as it should be. The ice cream cone ramp will be an anti-gravity section, like in the original course, and end off with an extended cone with a glide ramp inside, which would direct you towards the top compartment of the fridge with ice trays. There's also an icy floor and a water pool you need to avoid, placed there to direct the driver back onto the correct path in case they glided too far to the right. You jump off the ice trays onto the wafers, getting slightly less angled as you progress, ending the anti-gravity section on the last wafer. Then you arrive at the mountain with a sign that says you are at Rocky Road, like the ice cream flavor. Drive across a bumpy surface with wafer ramps lodged into the ice cream, as well as chocolate fudge poles that slow you down a little bit, kind of like the mud in Sunset Wilds. This portion ends with a ramp onto an ice cream sandwich, which you jump off of into the diner. The diner has been extended to stick out of the fridge. This way it lasts longer and feels more like an actual diner. It even has parking on the side. You make a sharp left to drive straight through the diner, with one hump in the track where the bar is located. Then you return to the finish line. Rinse and repeat for 3 laps. I think this layout was a lot more suitable for a final Cub track, as well as being more interesting than the original Sky High Sundae, while still keeping a few layout aspects, like continuous ramps and the ice cream ramp. Here are some more detailed concepts of the course. The perspective was a little off on a few of the drawings, and the proportions may be a little weird, but it's enough to give a general idea. Since this hypothetical course would be in Mario Kart Tour as well, I made a few maps of Tour trick variants and such. The reverse version would feature a glider ramp after the diner, and ramps would be placed for the puddles and wafers, then a glider at the end of the fridge. Finally, there's a ramp at the end of this wafer, and another to help you get back into the fridge. The trick variant starts off normal, then adds a slanted U-turn ramp after the wafer. An extra ramp is added to each side of the split, and the second set of stairs is blocked by one of these ramps. A sharper turn directs you off the ice cream cone ramp, referencing the original RT version. You then trick off 2 ramps, then a fan, into the freezer, and over the lake and diner. You take it right and complete the Rocky Road segment in reverse. Then you make a downward turn into the diner. You jump over the bar and then finish the lap. Finally, the RT variant. You exit the diner and jump off a ramp toward 2 fans into a U-turn ramp above the mountain. You drive onto a wavy road and cross onto the earlier part of the course before driving up a steep road to the top of the fridge. A U-turn ramp is at the top and you glide back onto the ice cream cone ramp. At the top of the split, you take a left onto a road that brings you back to the start. So that was my reimagining of Sky High Sundae. Let me know if you like this idea more than the original. Also, if any modders would like to adapt this into a game, you have my permission. I tried something different in this video since I've always had a liking for game design, and I might make more like this if this goes well. So leave comments on other Mario Kart tracks you want to see me redesign, or maybe even show off new ones. I have literally millions of ideas. Thanks for watching, and peace out.